You can stand in the busiest transit hub in the country, surrounded by thousands of people, and feel invisible. The symptoms of this isolation are woven into our daily routines. Families eat in silence while staring at screens. Neighbors live inches apart without knowing each other's names. Real friendships have been replaced by one-sided attachments to internet personalities who will never know we exist. When we feel this lack of connection, the immediate reflex is to assume we have a personal deficit, that we lack the social skills or the character to build a community. Our isolation is a product of our environment's default settings. Loneliness is the systemic outcome of the spaces we inhabit. America is suffering a systematic architectural collapse. We did not accidentally drift apart. We were engineered apart by the demolition of every institution and space that once forced us to tolerate and forgive one another. To find a cure for this disconnection, we have to look past our individual flaws and examine the literal blueprints of our society. Residential streets used to be designed for community-facing. The front porch was a transition zone, blending the private home into the neighborhood. We replaced those porches with garages. Now we drive home, hit a button, and shut the door before ever making eye contact with a neighbor. The same shift occurred in local commerce. Walkable main streets once required physical proximity, turning a simple errand into a social interaction. These hubs were eventually replaced by the big box model, sprawling structures that prioritize volume over connection. By removing the physical spaces that forced casual friction, we eliminated the absolute prerequisites for community. The drive for efficiency that reshaped our streets re-engineered our time. Most households now require 2 incomes, leaving little energy for friendship or parenting. As time grew scarce, we outsourced raising our children to screens and digital distractions. We applied this clinical efficiency to the elderly as well, housing them in corporate facilities far from home and family. We lost our recreational leagues and third spaces entirely, replacing them with algorithms that turn our neighbors into existential enemies. We traded the messy effort of real relationships for the frictionless ease of digital surrogates. This obsession with efficiency eventually infected our most intimate bonds. We turned romance into gamified consumerism, treating potential partners like a slot machine of endless swipes. Even our faith was commodified. Communal worship and physical acts of service were replaced by live streams and private therapy sessions. This shift allows us to use the promise of heaven as an escape hatch, making it easy to justify the neglect of our neighbors on earth. When connection is treated as a consumer product, community becomes a transaction rather than a covenant. The cause of death for American community was the prioritization of speed and mobility over presence. Recognizing this loss does not require a retreat to a mythical 1950s utopia. It does mean acknowledging that grand political policies alone cannot resurrect the connections we have lost. Efficiency is a poor god. It demands our geography and our relationships as daily sacrifices. Resurrection begins with radical inefficiency, small physical acts of presence. This requires subversive acts, dinner without phones, sitting on front porches, and choosing geographic proximity over economic gain. Real community is often bored and irritated. It happens around cheap folding tables and within the difficult reality of being physically present with one another. We can rebuild our shared life by rejecting the god of efficiency. Let us choose to be inefficient together.